Hi there, my name is Lee. I'm the founder of Ordonez Media, where we help e-commerce brands add an extra $100,000 in less than 90 days without relying on paid traffic on a pure performance basis. Now, in this video, I want to go over exactly how you can increase your organic revenue by $100,000 in the next 3 months without increasing acquisition costs or sacrificing profitability. But before I do that, I want to go over some of our recent wins at Ordonez Media as well. So the case studies we have here is, so for example, we have $190,000 in 90 days for a hobby and toy store. So obviously here for the currency conversion, it's around £148,000. But you can see here we had 37% from attributed revenue, which was 35% increase compared to last year. And then we also have a meal prep company, which did $38,000 in 90 days. Again, for a meal prep company, which did around obviously £29,000, which is around 46% of attributed revenue, compared to their overall revenue, with a 46% jump compared to the previous year. And also as well as we have a medical store that did $217,000 in 29 days, which is a very big case study for a medical store for us. And so you can see here we did around 31% in attributed revenue compared to their whole revenue, and then 15% jump compared to the previous month. And again, that was in 90 days, in 29 days. So that was a pretty big case study for us as well, and also for our clients. And also as well as we have a textile and clothing store that did $94,000 in 90 days. So you see here they did around 33% in total for attributed revenue, with a 14% increase compared to the previous year. And also as well as we had the $31,000 in 90 days for a gift and home decor store. But here you can see obviously £24,000, obviously for the currency conversion. But here you can see that it had an attributed revenue of 34%, which was a whopping 308% increase compared to the previous period. And also as well as we have some smaller case studies for the whole account. We have a $25,000 welcome series flow that did again over $25,000 just from the first email. And then we have a post-purchase flow that did around $54,000 in the first two emails. And then also as well is we have a case study for $99,000 from campaign revenue. As you can see here, we had some successful campaigns for this client. And also as well, the other thing I want to go over is our recent designs. So here are some of the recent designs we have for our clients. So obviously, generating these results for them, you need to make sure that some of your emails actually look pretty as well, plus some mock-ups as well. So here we have some of the brands that our designer has worked with, and also some mock-ups they've done just in their free time, just so we can promote this to some new clients in certain industries or certain niches to show exactly what we can do as well. Now, obviously, these are cool to see, and obviously you got cool designs, cool cases, but you got to understand there's also strategy behind those case studies and those designs. So now what I'm going to go over is why you're not growing profitably and how we help. So obviously I could just cut to the chase and tell you exactly how we help and obviously how we do it, but I feel like it'd be better if you understood the foundations of exactly, why there's issues. So the first thing that we go over is the lead magnet. So underperforming lead magnets, which leads to less people to convert. So if you got underperforming lead magnets performing at like 4 to 5% of of people submitting their whatever details you need to submit, obviously that is a low indicator for something you need to fix in your pipeline to get new leads from people that are visiting your site. Second one is not utilizing automations. So this is usually little to no automations in place to generate revenue in your sleeve. So for this one, these are basically the flows. Obviously, a lot of people have different names for them: automations, flows, systems, sequences, whatever you want to call them. But they're basically emails that you send out on autopilot that will get sent to people that are doing things on your website, or any purchase behaviors or anything they've done in the past to kind of retarget them to come back to the site. The third one we have is campaign scrambling. So here it usually is basically saying, no campaign calendar in place to help you plan out big events and keep organized. So a lot of times people have, no calendar in place, and they'll just go on the day saying, oh, what do I send today? Or what do we send this week? Or, what do we send this month? And the reason why we have campaign calendars is to make sure everything's in place. But obviously for that, I'm going to go off in just a second to tell you exactly how we do it. And also the final one, which is the most crucial one, is not utilizing reporting or data feedback to help you make your email efforts profitable. Now, these are the 4 key indicators that we always look at. So it's the lead magnet, the automations, which are the flows, the campaigns scrambling, which obviously means no actual planning for it, and then no data to back what you're currently doing. So obviously, this leads to the only and best option, which is having a dedicated team to help you build an email machine that is not only is your cash cow, but also saves you time and potentially thousands, if not millions in ad spend. So I'm going to get to the bread and butter of it, of exactly how we help. Now, the first thing we tackle is making sure that we're having a high performing lead magnet. So these lead magnets need to be netting 6 to 11% in submission rates. So obviously, more net for new subscribers, obviously more customers. Now, I'm going to go over the exact actual email math for this as well, which I'm going to see if I can load this up. All right, 2%. So here's an example. So say, for example, 10,000 people view your form and 1,000 people submit. That's a 10% submission rate. Now, just going off the fact that if your welcome series conversion rates are around 5%, it shouldn't be anything less, and your AOV is $200. You can see here that the total orders for that platform for that week is around 50 orders, which again, with 50 orders, that's around $10,000. But worst case scenario, say for example, your form is doing around 10,000 people that are viewing the form, and then the submits, let's say they're around let's say around 100. Ooh, that's 1,000. It's about 100. That's about 1%. Now, let's say, for example, your welcome series is doing 5% as well, and your AOV is also $200. You can see that the orders are very, very, very different. So even if this was a week or a month or a quarter, if you're getting around 10,000 people for each form and one's submitting around 1,000, getting a 10% submission rate, you can see here that there's a significant difference compared to the one that's getting a 1% submission rate. But obviously, for example, let's do 300%. Sorry, 300 people that submit their forms. Submit their email, and they get a 3% submission rate. Obviously, the number will bump up, but again, that 7% increase is a massive difference compared to a 3% versus a 10% sign up form. So this, obviously, I'll leave this in the description if you want to check this out. You're more than welcome to just play with this, just use it. Obviously, don't touch anything that's in orange. But as you can see here, I just want to go over the actual quick math of the reason why these are so important. Now, the next thing we go over is fully automated emails. So this is almost kind of like the bread and butter when it comes to emails for the automations. But what we do is we create 12 plus flows that are fully built and fully automated. Now, obviously, these aren't set it and forget it. Obviously, you got to test and split test. But for this, these are the main key factors that we have for our clients. So as you can see here, we have all these flows set up for all our clients. So we have welcome series, we have site abandonment, browse abandonment, cart abandonment, checkout abandonment, post, fulfilled order, replenishment, win back, sunset, VIP, back in stock, happy birthday. Obviously, these ones are obviously, they're very, very niche. So obviously, if you don't really celebrate birthdays for your customers or don't have a back in stock and use a third-party app, obviously you can get away with that one. But these are the flows that need to be set up for every account. Obviously, every niche is very different. If you've got a subscription brand, or you have a replenishment brand, or you have a big, a one-time order kind of product, obviously this will be very, very different. But these are the actual, very dynamic flows that you should be putting up in every single account. Now, the third key factor is making sure that you're sending 3 to 5 campaigns minimum per week. So obviously these are the big money makers, but obviously if you're sending 3 to 5 campaigns per week, you're probably thinking, oh, that's too many. I can't be sending those. But you got to understand that obviously people aren't always going to be active on your site. So if you got campaigns going out, every single, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, wherever the sequence works better for you, you're making sure that your brand stays top of mind. We've got clients that just absolutely love opening emails from them because they love the emails. They don't always have to click them, always have to purchase, but they're always top of mind. So when they think of the product that you're trying to sell or product that you are selling, they're going to think of your brand because your emails keep coming up. I've got an inbox full of like 10,000 different emails. Obviously, I'm an email marketer, so it's going to be very different, very biased. But I also like looking at beautiful emails because they just look cool and they look aesthetically pleasing. So obviously, if there's like, for example, I've got a drink brand I want to, get something from, I think, oh, maybe I should actually start taking care of my electrolytes, or like I should be actually looking into that. I know a brand that I keep getting emails from that I can go purchase. So obviously keeping campaign cadence for that is obviously good. So obviously don't be sending the same email every single week. When you're sending 3 to 5 campaigns per week, you want to make sure that you're segmenting well, settings you're engaged, you're not engaged, your repeat buyers, your one-time buyers, your VIPs, etc. So stuff like that you can get away with, but obviously with 3 to 5 per week, you obviously got to play it off slowly, making sure that you're not ruining deliverability as well. So making sure that you're staying in the between the 45 to 65% open rates as well. Obviously, depending on segments and depending on the goal of the campaign too, does change. But with campaign strategy, you need to be making sure that you have campaigns planned out as well. So what we like to do is every 15th of the month, we'll plan the month ahead. So for example, if today's the 15th of February, we'll be already planning for March, making sure that's all confirmed by the 16th or the 17th latest, so we can get a head start on that as well. And then finally, full data analysis. Now, with this, we do reporting once a week, and at the end of the month, you'll find out exactly what things are working, what aren't working, what we're going to double down on, and exactly what you need to kill. So when I say kill, obviously, so for example, if you got some extra emails in your sequences, in your flows that are not converting, you can just cut them out and keep it at the 4 to 5 or whatever you currently have, and just making sure that you're sending emails out every single day that are getting a very good open rate, click rate, conversion rate, and just overall, just not bouncing and landing in spam boxes as well. But obviously with this, you want to check deliverability, making sure that everything's in check. And obviously in Klaviyo, they have their full deliverability kit in there, which you can just check out and see where you're currently at. But obviously that one is hit or miss. So we have a couple different tools we use. If you want to know about those, more than happy to send those over as well. But for the full data analysis, this is basically where we find the weak points and then double down on basically the strengths that's currently going on. Now to finish this off, I'm going to basically go over our delivery on what we do in our launch timeline. Now obviously for that, you might be thinking, cool, you send all these pretty designs, you have all these cool case studies. Now what do you actually do? Like what is included in what we do? Now what we do is we have full content creation, unlimited emails, reporting, one-on-one. So again, I'm not going to send you to some VA that's somewhere in the Philippines and they don't know what they're talking about, and it's just not great. It's one-on-one directly with myself and my ops manager, and we also have free consulting as well. Now for content creation, obviously this takes care of email and SMS, and obviously any third-party apps that you might want to integrate, we do take care of that too. Unlimited emails, so there's no limit to how many emails we'll actually create. Obviously, if you come to us and say like, oh, we need 50 emails by like next week, by next Friday or whatnot, obviously we could do it, but obviously we need more detailed and more help on that. But for that reason, obviously we have unlimited emails. So if you turn me and say like, hey, we want to send 20 campaigns this week, this month, absolutely smash that as well. If you want to do flow build and like next week, we can do that as well. Also reporting as well. So we do daily, weekly, and monthly reporting. So daily is usually just updates on the account. Weekly is basically some wins we see in the account and obviously some things that we see that aren't really working. We'll let you know about that too. And then monthly reporting as well. So this is basically going over every metric in the book. So opens, clicks, bounce, spams, browse, abandonment recovery, cart abandonment recovery, checkout recovery, and basically how many orders are being added to the repeat buyers as well. So stuff like that, and also list growth. I could go over the whole thing, but I'm not going to bore you with all that. But we have a full analysis breakdown on a spreadsheet that basically goes over everything when it comes to daily, weekly, and monthly, and sometimes quarterly as well, to show you the growth of the account too. Again, already gone over the 101. It's basically with me, ops manager. There's no one else. It's just us. And also free consulting. So this one is coming in the summer, obviously depending on when you're watching this video. We're looking to hire CRO specialists, paid ad specialists, and SEO specialists in the near future. So, for those, we'll provide free consulting with that. So if you've got an agency or someone else you're currently working with, we can offer that as basically a free consulting thing. So we'll have links for the Calendlies, letting them know that obviously they'll have an hour booked on the slot, completely free, that you can ask them questions and understand, basically if there's any questions you have of what you're currently doing and if you're doing it yourself. Now the launch timeline with this one, so this includes, obviously, like I said before, daily and weekly updates. So week one is basically the Klaviyo account setup, research and strategy. Once provided the onboarding document we have, so we basically have a form that just has everything in there that basically lets us know everything about your branding, your competition, products you don't want us to sell, marketing keywords, so stuff like that we could use in our marketing for emails, lead magnet creation, also campaign calendar creation. So this happens in the first week. Week 2, we have core flows creation, campaign launch, weekly reporting. Week 3, we have campaign volume increase, additional core flows created, A/B test launched, and weekly reporting. And then week 4, we have optimize and scale, refining strategy, weekly and monthly reporting. And also, again, just move my face out of the way, this is after the onboarding is complete. So obviously, once the onboarding is complete, we can launch week 1, get everything set up. And then obviously here we have our kickoff call, and also any weekly or monthly calls you'd like to have. We do have that in place as well. Now, if you'd like to see if this would be a good fit for your company, or you're ready to start growing profitably this month with emails, feel free to book a call with the link below. No worries if not. Nonetheless, take care.